Today on MTG Unpacked, we're taking a look at the new Brothers War Commander deck, Urza's Iron Alliance. So we've got Urza, Chief Artificer is the commander. Alright, and let's take a look at the other side. Get your gears turning. So what do we get here? 100 card deck with 10 new cards. Deck box, 10 double-sided tokens. Traditional foil display commander, life wheel, strategy insert, and reference card. Okay, so we've got the pull tab on the bottom here. So these are available from local game stores now. Mostly WPN stores. If you're not a WPN store, maybe not. You might have to wait till release weekend. Okay, so some punch out cards. And then we've got a nice deck box here with a younger Urza than what I have on the playmat. Alright, so let's check it out. What else we have here? Oh, I forgot about this. We've got the Collector Booster Sampler as well. Okay, so we've got a life counter. Goes up to 40, yep. And let's check out this flyer here. So I'm wondering if this is going to tell us about the deck. Alright, here we go, that's good. So Urza's Iron Alliance, playing the deck. A bit about commander rules. And here we have Urza with one of the stones, the power stones. And Urza, Chief Artificer. Alright, so some lore there if you want to freeze frame that and read it. Okay, so we'll fold that up. Let's get into the Collector Booster Sampler here. And I think this deck box, by the way, you could probably sleeve up the entire deck and that would fit in there nicely. Okay, so let's see what we got here. I think there's just a couple of cards in these. So we start off with an ad, okay. Just an ad card. We've got Sardian Avenger. A nice Goblin Warrior. And that is not a foil, okay. And Spring Leaf Drum, okay. That's cool. So foil artifact. So we'll set those aside and get into the deck here. So Urza Chief Artificer. And normally on the back. Okay, technical difficulties. Okay, we're getting into it. There we go. That's how you do it. So let's find the display commander. That's normally towards the back there. So you can see Urza Chief Artificer, foil, mythic, thick card stock. So that's why it's a display commander. You would not shuffle that into your deck. And then we'll cut the deck here like so. And take a look at what we got here. So here's the regular card. Urza Chief Artificer, Legendary Creature, Human Artificer, 4/5 for 6. Affinity for Artifact Creatures. So this spell costs 1 less to cast for each artifact creature you control. Artifact creatures you control have menace. And at the beginning of your end step, create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token with. This creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. Okay, so tons of artifacts in this deck. Another mythic, we've got Tornos Solemn Survivor. Legendary Creature, Human Artificer, 1/3 for 2. For 2, tap, create a token that's a copy of up to 1 target artifact token you control. Mill 2 cards. And for 1, white, black, and blue, tap, sacrifice 2 artifact tokens. Exile an artifact or creature card from your graveyard. You get to create a token that's a copy of the exiled card, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. Activate only as a sorcery. And I like the old school bordering on these. And all of the cards, old border, interesting. We've got Swords to Plowshares. Instant for a single white. Exile target creature. Its controller gains life equal to its power. And Filigree Attendant. Artifact creature homunculus. Star 3 for 4 with flying. Its power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. Whirler Rogue. Creature Human Rogue Artificer 2/2 for 4. So when it enters battlefield, create 2 1/1 colorless stop to artifact creature tokens with flying. And if you tap 2 untapped artifacts you control, target creature can't be blocked this turn. We got Armix Filigree Thrasher, legendary artifact creature, Golem 3/2 for 3. So whenever it attacks, you may discard a card, and when you do, target creature defending player controls gets -X until end of turn, where X is the number of artifacts you control plus the number of artifact cards in your graveyard. This one also partners, so you can have 2 commanders if both have partner. We've got D-Spark, instant for 2, exile target permanent with mana value 4 or greater. Chief of the Foundry, artifact creature construct for 3, let's say 2/3. Other artifact creatures you control get +1/+1. And Cranial Plating, artifact equipment for 2, equipped creature gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control, and for 2 black, attach it to target creature you control, equip for 1. Liquimetal Torque artifact for 2, tap for colorless, tap target non-land permanent becomes an artifact in addition to its other types until end of turn. And Relic of Progenitus artifact for 1, tap target player exiles a card from their graveyard, or for 1 and exile it. You get to exile all graveyards, draw a card. Skull Clamp artifact equipment for 1, equipped creature gets +1/-1, and whenever equipped creature dies, draw 2 cards. Equip it for 1. And the ever popular Soul Ring. You'll find this in pretty much every commander deck. Artifact for 1, tap for 2, colorless. Swiftfoot Boots, artifact equipment for 2, equipped creature has hexproof and haste. Equip for 1. And Thought Vessel, artifact for 2. You have no maximum hand size, tap for colorless. We got Arcane Sanctum, its land enters battlefield tapped. Tap for white, blue or black. And Azorius Chancery enters battlefield tapped. When it enters battlefield, return a land you control to its owner's hand. Tap for white and blue. Darksteel Citadel, indestructible. It's an artifact land, add colorless. Demir Aqueduct, it's the land enters battlefield tapped. When it enters battlefield, return a land you control to its owner's hand. You can tap for blue and black. Orzhov Basilica enters battlefield tapped. When it enters battlefield, return a land you control to its owner's hand. Tap for white and black. And Sandwell, Avenger Ace, legendary creature, human pilot. As long as an artifact creature you control is attacking, prevent all damage that would be dealt to Sandwell, Avenger Ace. And whenever it becomes tapped, exile the top 6 cards of your library. You may cast a vehicle or artifact creature spell from among them, and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So this guy's a 3/1 for 2. And Scholar of New Horizons. Creature, Human Scout, 1/1 for 2. So it enters battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. Tap, remove a counter from a permanent you control. You get to search your library for a Plains card and reveal it. If an opponent controls more lands than you, you may put that card onto the battlefield tapped. If you don't put the card onto the battlefield, put it into your hand, then shuffle. And March of Progress, sorcery for 3, choose target artifact creature you control. For each creature chosen this way, create a token that's a copy of it. You can overload for 6 and a blue. And Wire Surgeons, creature human artificer, 6/5 for 6, has fear, and each artifact creature card in your graveyard has Encore. Its Encore cost is equal to its mana cost, and I'll let you freeze frame that and read what that's about. We got Wreck Hunter, creature human artificer, 2/2 for 2 with flash. When it enters battlefield, choose target player. You create a tapped Power Stone token for each non-land card in that player's graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn. And Hexavus, artifact creature construct, 0/0 for 6, has flying. It enters battlefield with 6 +1/+1 counters on it, and for 1, remove a +1/+1 counter from it. You get to put a flying counter on another target creature. And for 1, remove a counter from another creature you control. You get to put a +1/+1 counter on Hexavus. I think that's one of the new cards. We've got Kayla's Music Box, legendary artifact for 2. For a white, tap, look at the top card of your library, then exile it face down. Or tap, until end of turn you may play cards you own exiled with Kayla's Music Box. Thopter Shop, artifact for 3. Whenever 1 or more artifact creatures you control die, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn, and for 2 and a white, tap, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. And Indomitable Archangel, creature angel, it's a mythic for 4. with flying, has Metalcraft. Artifacts you control have Shroud as long as you control 3 or more artifacts. Alright, so that one's a 4/4, yep. Aethersworn Adjudicator, another mythic, 4/4 for 5 with flying. It's an artifact creature of a Vidalca Knight. For 1 white and black, tap, destroy target creature or enchantment. For 2 and a blue, untap Aethersworn Adjudicator. Oh, Noxious Gearhulk, another mythic. 5/4 for 6, artifact creature construct with menace. Enters battlefield, you may destroy another target creature. If a creature is destroyed this way, you gain life equal to its toughness. And Alela, Artful Provocateur, there we go. Legendary creature, Fairy Warlock, 2/3 for 4. It's another mythic. Flying, Death Touch, and Lifelink. Other creatures you control with flying get +1/+0. And whenever you cast an artifact or enchantment spell, create a 1/1 blue fairy creature token with flying. And Sphinx's Revelation. I like the Sphinx head in the background there. Instant for X white and 2 blue. It's another mythic. You gain X life and draw X cards. We've got Angel of the Ruins. Artifact creature Angel. 5/7 for 7 with flying. When it enters battlefield, exile up to 2 target artifacts and or enchantments. Has plane cycling for 2. And Austere Command. Sorcery for 6. Choose 2. Destroy all artifacts, destroy all enchantments, destroy all creatures with mana value 3 or less, or destroy all creatures with mana value 4 or greater. And Bronze Guardian, artifact creature Golem. It's a star 5 for 5, double strike and ward 2. Other artifacts you control have ward 2. And its power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. We got Dig Site Engineer, creature dwarf artificer 3/3 for 3. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you may pay 2. If you do, create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token with. This creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. Okay, so lots of artifact synergies here. We got Luciel, Clockwork Scholar, legendary creature, Elephant Artificer, 2/4 for 3. Prevent all combat damage that will be dealt to attacking artifact creatures you control. And whenever 1 or more artifact creatures enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. And Phyrexian Rebirth. Sorcery for 6. Destroy all creatures. Then create an XX colorless Phyrexian Horror artifact creature token, where X is the number of creatures destroyed this way. Tempered Steel enchantment for 3. Artifact creatures you control get +2/+2. And Teshar, Ancestors Apostle. Legendary creature Bird Cleric. It's a 2/2 for 4 with flying. Whenever you cast a historic spell, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And Unbreakable Formation, instant for 3. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Has addendum, so if you cast a spell during your main phase, put a +1/+1 counter on each of those creatures, and they gain vigilance until end of turn. Urza's Ruinous Blast. It's a legendary sorcery for 5. Exile all non-land permanents that aren't legendary. And Bident of Thassa, legendary enchantment artifact for 4. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card, and for 1 and a blue, tap. Creatures your opponents control attack this turn if able. And Master of Ethereum, artifact creature Vidalcan Wizard, star for 3. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of artifacts you control. Other artifact creatures you control get +1/+1. And One with the Machine. Sorcery for 4. Draw cards equal to the highest mana value among artifacts you control. We've got Psy Master Thopterus, legendary creature, human artificer, 1/4 for 3. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. And for 1 and blue, sacrifice 2 artifacts, you get to draw a card. Sharding Sphinx, artifact creature Sphinx, 4/4 for 6 with flying. Whenever an artifact creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may create a 1/1 blue Thopter artifact creature token with flying. And Shimmer Dragon, creature dragon, 5/6 for 6 with flying. As long as you control 4 or more artifacts, Shimmer Dragon has hexproof. Tap 2 untapped artifacts you control, you get to draw a card. And Thopter Spy Network, enchantment for 4. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control an artifact, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. And whenever one or more artifact creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. Thought Monitor, artifact creature construct 2/2 for 7, has affinity for artifacts, also has flying, and when it enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards. And Vidalcan Humiliator, creature Vidalcan Wizard, 3/4 for 4, has Metalcraft. Whenever it attacks, if you control 3 or more artifacts, creatures your opponents control lose all abilities and have base power and toughness 1/1 until end of turn. Okay, so that's about half of the deck. Let's continue here. I think there's some lands in here as well. Where are they? Okay, they're all mostly non-basics. We'll go through the basics towards the end. But let's take a look at this guy. This one's cool. We have Marionette Master. It's a creature human artificer 1/3 for 6. Has Fabricate 3. So when it enters battlefield, put 3 +1/+1 counters on it, or create 3 1/1 color servo artifact creature tokens. And whenever an artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to Marionette Master's power. Okay. And Baleful Strix, artifact creature bird, 1/1 for 2, has flying and death touch, and when it enters battlefield, draw a card. We got Sharum the Hegemon, legendary artifact creature Sphinx, 5/5 for, 6 with flying. When it enters battlefield, you may return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. And Vindicate, sorcery for 3, destroy target permanent. Oh, and now we've got some more artifacts here. Dark Steel Juggernaut, artifact creature Juggernaut, star for 5 with indestructible. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of artifacts you control. It attacks each combat if able. We've got Etched Champion, artifact creature Soldier, 2/2 for 3 with Metalcraft. It has protection from all colors as long as you control 3 or more artifacts. And Mere Battle Sphere, artifact creature Mere Construct, 4/7 for 7. So when it enters battlefield, create 4 1/1 colorless Mere artifact creature tokens. And whenever it attacks, you may tap X untapped Mere you control. If you do, it gets +X +0 until end of turn and deals X damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. So have we seen any Mere artifact creature tokens? I guess we'll see those later. Solemn Simulacrum, artifact creature Golem, 2/2 for 4. So when it enters battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. And when it dies, you may draw a card. We've got Steel Hellkite, artifact creature Dragon, 5/5 for 6 with flying. It gets, or you pay 2 and it gets +1 +0 until end of turn. Or for X, destroy each non-land permanent with mana value X whose controller was dealt combat damage by Steel Hellkite this turn. Activate only once each turn. And Steel Overseer, artifact creature construct 1/1 for 2. Tap, put a +1/+1 counter on each artifact creature you control. And we've got some lands here. Exotic Orchard, it's a land. Tap to add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. Prairie Stream, tap for white or blue, enters battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. And River of Tears, tap for blue. If you played a land this turn, add black instead. Skycloud Expanse, it's a land. For 1, tap, add white and blue. We got Spire of Industry, another land. Tap for colorless, tap, pay 1 life, add 1 mana of any color. Activate only if you control an artifact. Sunken Hollow, so you can tap this one for blue or black. Enters battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. And Temple of Deceit, another one that enters tapped. When it enters battlefield, scry 1, tap for blue or black. And Temple of Enlightenment enters tapped. When it enters battlefield, scry 1, tap for white or blue. Temple of Silence enters battlefield tapped. When it enters battlefield, scry 1, tap for white or black. And Ethereum Sculptor, artifact creature Vidalcan Artificer, 1/2 for 2. Artifact spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Preordained sorcery for a single blue, scry 2, then draw a card. And Chrome Courier, artifact creature Thopter, 1/1 for 3 with flying. So when it enters battlefield, reveal the top 2 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. If you put an artifact card into your hand this way, you gain 3 life. And Arcane Signet, artifact for 2, tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Azorius Signet, artifact for 2, for 1, tap, add white and blue. Demir's Signet, so this one, pay 1, tap, add blue and black. Orzov's Signet, same deal for white and black. Ancient Den, tap for white. Ash Barrens, tap for colorless or basic land cycling 1. And Bajuka Bog enters tapped when it enters battlefield exile, target player's graveyard. You can tap for black. And Command Tower, tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Evolving Wilds, it's a land, tap, sack it, search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. And Goldmire Bridge, another one that enters tapped, has indestructible, tap for white or black. Misvault Bridge, another one that enters tapped, indestructible, tap for blue or black. And Path of Ancestry enters tapped, tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. When that mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander, scry 1. And Razortide Bridge enters tapped, has indestructible, tap for white or blue. Seat of the Synod, tap for blue. And Vault of Whispers, tap for black. Okay, so that's the non-basics. And let's check out the basic lands here. So we've got plains. Oh, so we've got 4 of those, okay. And islands, 4 of those. Swamps, just 3 of those, okay. So let's take a look at the tokens. So we've got a Phyrexian Horror, star, and on the other side we've got a Servo 1/1, Construct 0/0, and on the other side a Servo, so another Construct, and on the other side a 1/1 Flying Thopter. We've got a Mere 1/1 on the other side. We've got the 1/1 Thopter, so Thopter, and a Fairy 1/1 with Flying. Copy token, and on the other side, Thopter 1/1 with Flying. Power Stone, and what do we have here? A 1/1 Mere, okay, Mere, and a 1/1 Servo. Nice mix here. Power Stone with a 1/1 Fairy, a Mere 1/1, and Servo 1/1, and parts of the turn, and popular Magic formats. Okay, so if you like your artifacts and anything to do with pumping things up with artifacts, lots of flying creatures and so forth, this is the deck for you. Let me know in the comments what you think about this one, and we'll be checking out the other one shortly with Mishra. Hope everyone's staying safe and healthy out there. Thanks for watching and have a great day.